afternoon, everyone. Before I start, I want to apologize. I've had this nagging cough for, I think I'm on week 3 or 4. So if I'm going to apologize because I'm going to have to, it's hard for me to speak. So sometimes I have to get in for air. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. I'm beyond thrilled to be here and have been thoroughly enjoying the positive vibes of this wonderful community. And to top it off, I'm incredibly honored that Dr. Roper took the time to virtually introduce me. That was actually my first time seeing it, so I was behind wondering, what was he gonna say? Oh dear, all eyes. He's just an awesome person, and I'm glad that he chose me to join him in this new adventure. So it was definitely worth the risk leaving government, but all I can say is we'll be announcing some things, so there's more to come. I must say it's been a wild ride since I left government service last fall, but it's been a thrilling journey, embarking on a new challenge to tackle something that Dr. Roper and I faced during our time in government service. And I hope that from the outside, we can continue to make a meaningful impact together with all of you. Full confession, this is actually my first LOA. I'm not part of the logistics community. My first assignment within the Air Force civilian was actually test and evaluation out of Edwards Air Force Base. So I come from the flight testing community. As Dr. Roper said, you know, I'm a Boilermaker. Is there any Boilermakers in the crowd? Woo! Okay. If you bet on us in your bracket, I apologize. I am still recovering from it, but at least we're Big Ten champions. Thank you. So boiler up. But I'm grateful for the overwhelming reception, so thank you for inviting me. In particular, JD. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this wonderful symposium, and thank you to everyone here. Thank you for the amazing work you do on a daily basis. And thank you for choosing to spend the next few minutes with me. I'm truly honored. As I contemplated on what I was going to talk about today, I looked at the symposium theme. I looked at the amazing agenda of the lineup of speakers. I really enjoyed General Minahan's energy and his mustache. And I enjoyed the breakout sessions ranging from a variety of topics from leaderships. There was the Women in Defense panel that was excellent, and people talked about data analytics. I took the time to walk through the exhibit hall and connected with some of you. As I reflected on all of that and what I was going to talk about, I wondered, what more could I offer outside of this exceptional lineup of speakers and panels that would be beneficial and of value? So here's my plan. I want to take you on a journey through the digital realm, where we will unlock the potential of anything and everything digital, from digital models to data. We'll geek out a little. I'll talk high level. And then I'll end with a personal story that I have never publicly shared that I hope can positively impact others in their personal and professional journey. I do this because when I was in government service, I couldn't find a lot of leaders that could make themselves vulnerable and for me to relate. So I'm hoping that my personal story might help someone. So right now, I invite you to sit back and just be open to new ideas for the next few minutes. So let's rewind back to last year's keynote by the SecF, where he reminded everyone in the room that we don't have any time to waste, and that if you thought 30 years or 10 or even 5, and if you even thought we had that, to plan and prepare for our next conflict, we have no such assurance. And that we have to change a mindset that has been in place for 30 years. Innovate, lead, and do it fast. Dr. Roper also stated in his virtual AFA in 2020 that wars will be won and lost based on how well we digitally design, and make sure that our victories are won in the digital realm first. These two statements converge on a common theme: the need for rapid innovation and adaptation in the digital realm to maintain our strategic edge and ensure our success in an increasingly competitive landscape. But going back and modifying Dr. Roper's statement, I would say digital is the battlefield. With those two statements, and with everything said throughout this symposium so far, the question that comes to mind for me is, how do we stay competitive against the adversaries we face and against the trends that drive the world? The answer may be simple. We need to change the way we do business, and we need to change the way we think. We need to embrace the digital realm and data as the primary weapons in the battlefield for success. I'm sure you've constantly heard it repeatedly: innovate or lose. Accelerate, change, or lose. I don't disagree with all of that. But riddle me this: why are we still buying like we used to? Why are we still designing like we're used to? So don't get me wrong, by no means am I suggesting there's no change. I have seen plenty of change during my time in government, but it boils down to the coalition of the willing. I've met some insanely inspiring people that are constantly pushing for change in impactful ways, and for that, I'm grateful for you. I know a lot of folks who just want change but don't know where to start. So, serious question, how do we do that? I did ask you at the start to have an open mind, so let me give you an example. I know General Minahan discussed this today, and he said there wasn't examples, and he gave you some that he listed on his slide. But let me give you another example within the Air Force that I believe will change the landscape in how we do business, and will also change the way we think. It's rather apropos that the office is called the Digital Transformation Office. Currently, they're leading the efforts to unify digital transformation across the Air and Space Force. In 2021, the DTO founded the Digital Airworthiness Team to enhance the airworthiness certification process so that they can field technologies faster than our adversaries. The overall goal is to develop solutions that help end users gain efficiencies and improvements to processes. The DTO recognizes that the current approach to how we do airworthiness is inefficient. There's no disagreement there. And by integrating digital tools that both streamline processes and assist the user, we will be able to outperform, outdrive, outmaneuver our adversaries, but in a digital acquisition environment. So, take that in mind, let's take it one step further, and I'll tell you why this matters. While we're moving from a document-intensive process to a digital process, we need to leverage those digital models, those modeling and sims, and the data to match it to reality. We have to flip the paradigm of how we feel technologies. So, we are proposing from a design, build, test mindset. I challenge you to move towards a design, test, then build. That would require actively leveraging your digital models and trusting it, and cutting-edge tools to design and test new systems and platforms digitally before you can physically build them. By creating the digital twin, this allows for the rapid iteration of designs, reduces costs, and accelerates the development process. It allows for identification and resolution of potential issues early on, ensuring that our warfighters have access to the most advanced and reliable technology available. So put it in perspective, has anyone watched Iron Man? Tony Stark. What Tony Stark did in Iron Man in his lab, he was digitally designing the suit and components and continuously improving in it in a modeling sim. And then he built it. That's what we need to do. If at this point you're thinking, that's not possible, maybe we can do it on component level, we can 3D print, do that in a component part level, but not a complex system. Let me tell you that this has been successfully completed in industry, and it's been happening for a very, very long time. To illustrate this, let me share what McLaren Racing does. They have harnessed the power of modeling and simulation to optimize the Formula One cars before they even hit the pavement. By utilizing digital twins, virtual representations of the car, and by the way, they go through 1,000 digital twins per race, to put it in perspective. McLaren can test these various scenarios, refine designs, and they can pinpoint issues before they ever materialize. This not only saves time and money for them, but provides invaluable insights into how the car will perform in real-world conditions. The final build product is not the same as the first design because they leverage digital models to continuously learn and improve their designs. So we've discussed digital models, we've talked about modeling and simulation, but at the heart of this lies something very near and dear to me, which is data. Data is what I believe is our strategic currency of the digital age. In all sectors, data plays a crucial role in informing and refining digital models and simulations. The ability to collect, analyze, and derive insights from vast amounts of data is what enables organizations like McLaren to stay ahead of the curve and maintain a competitive edge. In a similar light, the digital thread is a complex web of interwoven data that connects systems, processes, and stakeholders. It facilitates the seamless flow of information, enabling us to harness the power of data to make informed decisions and drive innovation. In the context of the digital battlefield that I talked about, this thread has become the backbone of both offense and defense. The digital thread is your continuous flow of information that connects and integrates all stages of the product's life cycle, whether it's from initial design, testing, manufacturing, to operations and maintenance. By seamlessly linking data across these stages, the digital thread provides a unified real-time view of the product and process, enabling better collaboration, traceability, and decision-making throughout the process. The digital thread ensures that insights gained from one stage can effectively be used in another stage, so it continuously drives innovation and improvement. I think about this, usually when I talk about this, I think about it if you watch Ready Player One, when they built the Oasis, where everyone, all the models processed underlying things, they're all interconnected and not built in silos. Now take everything about the digital landscape and now pair it with AI. That will unlock the next era of innovation. We're already witnessing it with GPT, and you continue to see the explosion of companies tackling new uses of AI to continuously improve the technology. While we're uncovering what AI can accomplish, I am very aware of the risks that comes with AI. For example, GPT, you can train the model, but it still lacks understanding context. Every technology we have encountered, even your phones, come with the good and bad. But this is where you are in control to decide what works best for you and to mitigate the risks. Additionally, the government needs to work with industry to understand and limit that risk. So as we move forward, it's essential to recognize the pace of technology is accelerating, and our adversaries as well as the competitors, they're not waiting for us to catch up. We must embrace a mindset of continuous innovation, push the boundaries of what is possible, and quickly adapt to evolving the digital landscape. Our success in future conflicts, as well as our ability to compete and excel in various industries, will depend not only on our ability to develop, deploy advanced technology, but also our capacity to think innovatively and adapt our strategies to an ever-changing digital battlefield. The time to act is now, and we must do so with a sense of urgency and determination. Let us take to heart all that has been discussed and shared throughout this symposium and commit ourselves to a future in which we lead the charge in digital innovation. By harnessing the power of technology, fostering a culture of creativity and adaptability, and embrace the digital as the battlefield, we can ensure our victories will be won digitally first and secure our place as a global digital leader in defense and security. So here's my ask. I challenge our senior leaders to empower those in the field with a means to bring forth ideas that can rapidly transition at the speed of relevance. Those folks at all levels are your critical advantage in the digital battlefield. For industry partners, I ask that you continue to innovate, bring forth those technologies to our military leaders, and in turn, I ask those leaders to reinvent how we engage with commercial technology. Don't accept status quo, and please don't let bureaucracy prevent people from moving forward. Your biggest challenge right now is rapidly adapting those commercial technologies for military use. We need to come together as a nation and as a team, and that conversation starts here. Having been on both sides right now, I can honestly say that our critical problems facing our military can be solved if we do it collectively and break down those silos. For everyone else, I ask that you contribute to the important topics being discussed throughout the symposium, whether it's just simply asking a question or taking the time during your breaks to connect with partners to jointly develop solutions. I also invite you to embrace a future where physical boundaries are no longer limitations, but rather invitations to innovate. So I did promise at the end that I'll share a personal story, so bear with me for another few minutes. So 2 weeks ago, for all the folks that were in the Women in Defense panel, Michaela and Anissa, they had me on their Mother Hackers podcast about 2 weeks ago. And they coincidentally were at the conference today, and I sat in the panel. If you ladies are out there, you ladies did amazing. That was an excellent panel. So on the podcast, they asked me one question, the final question. Question was, if you had a billboard message that would reach millions, what would it be? So before I tell you my response, I want you to take a moment and think about that in your head. What would that be and why? If you're thinking, don't suck, that's a good one. Also, suck less was something else someone told me once. Those are good ones too, but that was not my response. My response was 2 words, wish it was don't suck, but it wasn't. My response was be kind. I think it's important to remember that we're all human beings with our own struggles and challenges. And a little bit of kindness goes a long way in helping others feel seen and valued and supported. What I didn't share, because they didn't ask me the why, what I didn't share on the podcast was the story behind my answer that's greatly impacted me over the years and changed my mindset of how I approach things, even in difficult times. So, fun fact, has anyone been to Singapore? Oh, yeah. So I was born and raised there. Moved here when I was a teenager. My mom worked for the American Embassy. Another not so fun but funny fact, I went to an all-girls convent for 9 years of my life. My parents obviously hated me, but we can make fun of me there. But during my time in the convent, it's funny when I say it out loud, I was 14 then. I joined this after-school service club. It was sponsored by, I forgot what, it was called Interact, and it was sponsored by the Rotary Club. So we did, several things within Singapore, but there was a mission trip I'll never forget. There was a mission trip to Philippines where we were supposed to help underprivileged kids that were orphaned or living in poverty. So I spent a week there, didn't live in hotels. We had sponsors there, so I lived in villages, kind of moved depending on who the sponsor was. I don't recall the specific village for this story, but it was a very, very rural part of Philippines. So it was quite a stretch to get there. What I knew about the village was it was a very, very close-knit village. They had lots of kids over there. So my sponsor told me that, and I said, oh, perfect. I have tons of candy and chocolate. So I loaded up my bag, right? So once I got there, it was just insane for them to even see a car and stuff like that. The kid rushed up. And I stepped out and I said, hi, I have a candy for you. But I said it in a non-creepy way. But I said, hi, and I reached out, I have a candy for you. And then I pulled it out. Similar to this is my lozenges, just coincidentally I'm holding it. It was a candy like this and a wrapper, right? I gave him the candy, and I saw these other kids there. He took the candy, he rushed off. I heard him saying something in Tagalog. I kind of assumed he must be telling the other kids, that girl has candy, right? And I'm like just running up to him. I'm trying to catch up to him and all the other kids. I hate cardio, so I was trying my best to catch up to him. And then once I got maybe a few feet from him, I saw him squat down. He took this candy, he had a rock. He literally took the rock and crushed the candy. And then he opened up the candy and all the kids rushed in. That image and his selflessness forever lives on in me. And I share that with you today because that little boy, when I was 14, taught me more than you'll ever know. He taught me that no matter what your circumstance is, I don't know what you're going through, but you are in control of how you react to things and how you treat others that matters in this world. It didn't matter when I met him, he had no shoes, didn't have nice clothes, doesn't care about the latest phone. All he reacted in that moment was to share his happiness off a simple candy with his friends. And in turn, his kindness made that day and honestly changed my entire mindset. Here I was thinking, I'm going there to help this village. But no, they helped me that day. Money, status, the latest shoes, phones, none of that defines us. It's about placing others above us and treating others with kindness that will have a significant ripple effect on all of us around us, on all those around us. It happened to me, so I hope this story has had an effect on you too. I just ask that you be kind, as you never know whoever you're sitting right next to or in front of you, what they're going through. And that little bit of kindness could greatly impact just one person. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for choosing to spend time with me today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my story, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for having me.